then coming to the model, that we would have our own model. We are not interested in following the Canadian model or the Indian model. My president has said we will have the Sri Lankan model. As we are all Sri Lankans could be able to live everywhere, anywhere.
So, what does the Sri Lankan model mean?
The Sri Lankan model is where Sri Lankans, we don't have minorities. People should be able to live anywhere and everywhere. That's the way we are saying. Like I said, 54%. They are, still I hate to call them Tamils, but to explain my point, live in the south. So the same way the Sinhalese, the Muslims should be able to live in the north and the east. That's the way it should be. There was ethnic cleansing of the Muslims 15 years ago by the Tamil Tigers. Then they ethnic cleansing of the Sinhalese. Now, people should be able to live freely, do business.
I understand, but by saying everybody's a Sri Lankan, some Tamils will say you are denying them their special identity within that Sri Lankan family.
So they practice their own culture. You got to go to Colombo and see, Steve, then you see how people move about. You should walk into my consulate and see how people move about. All communities together. So we don't say, okay, you're this, we are this, and then what difference do I see?
Let's talk about your country and mine.
Yes.
What do you think relations are like right now between Canada and Sri Lanka?
I would say relationship improved thanks to the conservative government of Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Because, I mean, they understood we had a good relationship in the past. We have only one international airport, which is, and the road leads to that is known as Sri Lanka-Canada Friendship Road. And Canada has helped us on our railways, and I don't know if you have heard, there is a swimming pool named after Bryan Adams in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
After the tsunami. We have had excellent relationship. But after the Prime Minister Stephen Harper's conservative government, they banned the LTT. Not only they banned the LTT, they banned the WTM, which is the World Tamil Movement.
Okay, tell me this though, because I appreciate the road to the airport is called the Canada-Sri Lanka Friendship Road. But you didn't show a lot of friendship to Bob Rae, the Liberal Member of Parliament, when he tried to go there earlier this year, and you told him to get back on his plane and go home. What happened there? So
I would say that any government has the right to accept or reject. So our government exercised that.
Yeah, why?
That is it. I don't want to go into detail. I think Bob Rae knows why. He knows it better. You really should ask Mr. Bob Rae.
Was he a threat to your national security?
I mean, never know. Because the same way, I don't know whether you know that there has been that we may not say this out. The same way, our people also, like any country, is in a diplomatic situation where visas are denied, even to our...
No, but he had a visa.
No, he had a visa, but when you say visa, when anywhere issued, that doesn't mean it's a guarantee. You take the US or any other country, it's not a guarantee just because you have the visa. The real authority is there.
No, I understand, but he's an elected member of Parliament. I don't think he's been responsible for any armed insurrections anywhere in the world, and it's just curious that your government...
So we also have had elected members of Parliament who wants to go to other countries, including Canada. So this is diplomacy, I would say.
What kind of diplomacy?
No, this diplomacy is reciprocity. So because, I mean, same way, Mr. Bob Rae cannot criticize the government of Sri Lanka, the people of Sri Lanka, 2 days ago and go to Sri Lanka.
Well, he's been pretty critical of both sides in this thing, right?
I don't think so.
He spent a lot of
Mr.
time
Bob
trying to
Rae is a
bring peace
nice
to the
man.
area.
I have my respect for him, but Mr. Bob Rae should know it better.
He should?
He should know it better, what he has done. So I like, because I've met him a few times, he's been very nice, he's a nice man, but it's our right we exercise. And that's the way it's done anywhere.
Do you think that when the Liberals were in power here, they were overly sympathetic to the Tamil side of the argument?
Yes.
And is that part of the reason why Bob Rae, as a Liberal MP, was turned around?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think Bob Rae has been with NDP and all this I've read about in the papers. So I don't think that's it. But, I mean, we have like what Mr. Deepak Oberoi went, Bevoda went. So
but they're conservatives.
No, it's not, it's a government to government, but it's government to government. But what is important is Mr. Bob Rae and others should try and play a constructive role. They should try to play a constructive role. They should work together. Okay, it's easy for them to criticize. It's easy for people to criticize.
Let's finish on, we got 30 seconds left here, so let's finish with perhaps something constructive. What do you think Canada can do right now constructively to help your country?
No, but right now what Canada is doing is helping us for rehabilitation. Like Minister Bevoda has visited twice, Mr. Deepak Oberoi has visited. So Canada is working together with Sri Lanka. So that's what Canada is doing to improve, to do peace building, reconstruction, rehabilitation. That's the best, and Canada is doing that, and we are very grateful to Canada.
And we're going to have an election in this country in the next year or so, probably. What would your advice be to the Canadian people on who to vote for?
That's not my job to give advice to the Canadian people. If you ask, I'm a Sri Lankan